Imagine walking through a quiet forest when you hear a horse in distress. It's trapped, struggling, and no one else is around. What would you do? This isn't just another rescue story. It's a fight against time, and the outcome will leave you stunned. Don't miss how it unfolds. This is the story of Owen, a man who felt a strong bond with the natural world, a bond that few people truly understood. Owen's life wasn't fancy or full of big events, but his love for nature made him different. He worked long hours at a local factory, but his real happiness was found outside. Whether he was planting flowers in his yard or walking through the quiet forests nearby, Owen felt at peace when surrounded by trees, plants, and animals. One thing he loved most was watching the wild horses that sometimes wandered close to his land. He could spend hours sitting quietly, watching them run free across the open fields. Their strength and beauty always filled him with calmness. However, one day, something happened that changed everything. It all started when Owen decided he was tired of buying garden furniture from the store. Everything was too expensive, and even after spending the money, he never really liked what he got. Owen wanted something different, something he could make with his own hands. He wanted to build something that felt special. But before he could start, he needed wood, and for that, he planned a trip to the nearby forest. Owen didn't want to harm any living tree. He was hoping to find an old tree that had already fallen. He packed up his tools, a saw, cutters, and some ropes, and drove his old truck to the edge of the forest. Excited and full of ideas, he started walking through the trees, searching for the right piece of wood. But then, something made him stop. He heard a sound, not the usual sound of birds or the wind. It was a horse, and it sounded scared and hurt. Without thinking twice, Owen forgot about the wood and rushed toward the sound. The noise led him to a large, muddy part of the forest. The ground there was soaked from the rain, turning the dirt into thick, heavy mud. It wasn't a place for walking. It was the kind of spot where anything could get trapped without warning. Owen stopped and stared, his heart beating fast. Right in front of him was a wild horse, stuck badly. Its strong back legs were deep in the mud, and no matter how hard it tried, it couldn't pull itself free. The poor horse looked tired, and Owen could see it was losing its strength. It seemed like the horse had been trying for hours, but the more it moved, the deeper it sank. Its front legs were still on firmer ground, but the back legs were almost completely buried. The horse was sinking little by little, and fear filled its eyes. It cried out loudly, a sound that echoed through the trees and made Owen's chest ache. Every movement the horse made grew weaker. Owen knew he couldn't stand there and do nothing. This wasn't just a simple accident. It was life or death. If no one helped, the horse would soon be too tired to fight and would be lost in the mud forever. Owen didn't waste a second. He knew he had to act fast if he wanted to save the helpless animal. Without wasting a second, Owen ran back to his truck. He grabbed a rope and a few supplies he had packed earlier for collecting wood. His mind raced as he hurried back to the horse, trying to think of a plan. Maybe, just maybe, he could throw the rope around the horse and pull it out. Owen gave it his best shot, but the moment he started pulling, he realized the truth. A horse was way too heavy for one man. No matter how hard he pulled, the horse didn't move an inch. Time was slipping away. Owen knew he had to do more. He gave the horse some food and water, hoping it would stay calm a little longer. Then, he jumped into his truck and raced toward the nearest town, his heart pounding the whole way. It took him about 45 minutes, but he didn't stop or slow down. When Owen came back, he wasn't alone. His family had come with him, bringing 2 powerful off-road vehicles. They weren't sure if it would work, but they knew they had to try. Together they hurried back to the bog. Seeing the tired, trapped horse made them all even more determined to save it. His plan was simple. Loop straps around the horse's front legs and use the vehicles to pull him out of the bog. But when they first started, things weren't going smoothly. Everyone was nervous and unsure if it would work, but they knew they had to try. The team worked quickly, carefully attaching the straps to the horse's legs. The horse didn't struggle at all. It almost seemed like he understood they were trying to help. He stood still, covered in mud, watching them with tired eyes. With the straps in place, the off-road vehicles roared to life, pulling hard. At first, the horse didn't move. Everyone felt a wave of doubt, but they didn't stop. After a few attempts, something amazing happened. The horse began to shift just a little. Owen's heart raced. It wasn't much, but it was a sign. They were making progress. Not wasting time, Owen quickly moved the strap to the horse's rear legs. This could be the move that would make the difference. With the strap in place, he jumped back into the vehicle and gave it another try. Slowly, the horse started to rise, inch by inch. The mud held on tight, but little by little the horse was breaking free. Owen knew they were so close now. Then, in a moment of sheer relief, the horse finally slipped free from the mud. The team couldn't help but cheer. It was a victory, but there was no time to celebrate. They rushed to the horse, quickly removing the straps and trying to wipe some of the mud off his body. The horse stood, shaky but alive. It was clear he had been through a lot, but he was safe. As Owen and his family stood there, amazed at the miracle of the rescue, something incredible happened. The horse, still covered in mud, slowly turned and walked toward Owen. It was like he knew who had saved him. The powerful animal lowered his head, and then, to everyone's surprise, he bowed to Owen. It felt like the horse was saying thank you for giving him a second chance. Owen stood still, unable to speak. His hand reached out slowly to stroke the horse's nose. In that quiet moment, something passed between them, a connection that words couldn't explain. Owen could see the horse's gratitude in his eyes. His heart swelled with emotion. He had saved this beautiful animal, and the horse had given him the most sincere thank you he could imagine. Tears welled up in Owen's eyes as he reached out to the horse. This moment was something he would never forget. The horse, once stuck and struggling, was now free, thanks to his quick thinking and determination. The horse didn't stay for long. With one final, powerful neigh, he reared up on his hind legs, then bolted toward the wide-open plains. It was as if he was announcing to the world that he was finally free. Owen stood there, watching him run, a proud and humble smile on his face. He had saved this wild horse's life, and in doing so, had formed a bond with the animal that would stay with him forever. Turning to his family, Owen wiped his eyes. He thanked them for all their help. The rescue had been a team effort, but deep inside, he knew that without him, the horse might not have made it out of the bog. Owen had saved a life, and though the horse couldn't thank him, Owen felt his gratitude in every part of his being. The horse would roam the plains again, running free with his herd. He would raise a family, bring beauty to the world, and continue the cycle of life. Owen would always remember that day, the connection between man and animal, and how one act of kindness had changed everything for both of them.